discussing SAP work process administration part. SAP work process administration. So as part of the work process administration, we have discussed about the dialog, update, and queue. So up to here, we have discussed. So we have the background, B for background work process. We have the B for the background work process here. So what is this background work process? What is this work process responsibility? And what are the transaction codes for this background work process here? So background work process are responsible to run the job. To run the job, we need a one background work process is required. To run the job, we need a one background work process is required. One background work process is required here. So here, first of all, what is job here? Job is a set of instructions. Normally, we will execute the reports. Normally, we will execute the reports programs using the SA38 or SE38. We will execute it. All the reports and everything, we will execute it, right? We will go to the SA38. Normally, we discussed it. Suppose if any programs are report executions, we have to do it in the SA38 or SE38. So we have to do that one. SA38 or SE38. So we have to use that one. I'm putting in the mute here. So, okay, so here what I'm doing, so here, suppose any reports or any programs, we have to select the program, any program, just execute it, that will be executed. That will be executed here, right? It will give the results. So, like this, so if you want to manually execute it, some payrolls, monthly jobs, some salaries, so something you have to execute it. Every month, you have to execute during the day, so means it's very difficult, manual execution manually by humans. So it's very difficult to execute it here. So in this case, what we can do, we can automate it. We can automate the execution process and everything. We can automate it here. So how can we automate it means by creating the by creating the jobs in the system, by creating the jobs in the system. If you create the job in the system, that will run in the background mode. That job will run in the background mode here, right? The job will run in the job background mode, so that if any issues, that will be, so if anything manual execution is required, so we know without any manual execution, jobs will run automatically. Jobs will run automatically here. So the that's what the main idea of the here. So now see, now we are executing the one of the program now we are executing manually, we are executing, right? So SA38 or SE38 are the, so these things we will use it to execute the programs or reports, manual executions, right? So to avoid this manual executions and everything, we need to create a job. Job means it will run the program. The program contains what? Program contains the set of code, data. So instructions, how to execute it, what data, what table, everything, it will be there. So developers will create these programs and reports. So here, to create the job, what is required here, all right? To create the job, so see here, one program, if you want to execute it, there is a source code. If you select the program, select the source code, click on the display, then you will get the code. What is the code written inside of this program? What is the code written inside of this program? It will be displayed. So it will display the what is the code required and everything here. So So see the program, see here the program is getting executed. Here it's compiling because of the our SGen process. See here, this is compiling here. So to avoid this type of things here, what SAP given is to run the job by including the program, so that the job will execute the program. Whatever you are doing, the all the manual actions now, this job will execute it. Whatever we are doing, this job will execute it here. We can go to the SM36 is the transaction code. SM36 is the transaction code here in the SM36. So here we have to create the job. So the background work, mainly the background work process is responsible for to run the job. Only these things you can remember. Okay. So job means set of job means the set of actions will be executed. What actions? Whatever you define in the job, that will be executed. What we have to define here in the job steps, we have to define the program or report we have to define. So that will be executed automatically. That will be executed automatically, right? So job name we have to, so job name we have to provide it here, right? So what is the job name here? Suppose like monthly salary. Suppose monthly salary. Suppose example, I am giving the job name as a monthly salary. Then job class, it's a, there are the three types of job classes are there. There are the three types of job classes are there here. High priority, middle priority, and low priority here. So maybe it's a monthly salary means high priority, right? Then high priority I have selected here. So what is the target server? So if you are the more than application servers are there, so then we can choose the target. Otherwise, just you can ignore it here, right? Just go to the steps, go to the job steps here, go to the steps here. In the steps, you can see it here. So you can just there are the three types of jobs. These are the very important, guys. Okay. Just you can leave it out the previous discussion and everything here, like whatever, what is the job, what is required. So to run the job, we need a one background work process. So what is the relation? Now we are discussing about the background work process. Then what is the job here? Means this job should be run by the work process here. So work process is the bike. Then we are the job is the human. We will ride the bike, right? Same as like if you want to run the we want to run the job, definitely the work process is required. Means the vehicle is required here, right? So same concept here, right? So who will run the jobs? So without any manual intervention, kind of automation functionalities, right? Background work process will run that one, right? So job will run the background work process here, right? So here job, what is job means? Job contains the job will run the programs, reports. So whatever you want to define, it will run it here without any manual intervention. As per the timelines, it will run it here. So then how many types of above job steps are there? Like what are the things we can run it here with including in the job here? So one is that step. What are the steps means? Above programs we can define it. Then external commands we can define it. Then external the programs we can define it here. So there are the three types of steps are there. There are the three types of steps are there. Above program, external command, external programs we can define it. Above program means our internal SAP system programs are reports which are done by the our ABAPers who will write the code. Those are the things here. External commands means our operating system level commands. Operating system level commands. Suppose something you want to execute at operating system level, file creations, file movement automatically. Normally, if you want to create the file, if you want to move the data, if you want to something, you need to do the manual creations and everything. So you don't want to do every time. One time, if you set up the job will take care of your work. You don't need to do anything automatically. Normal example, if you see the monthly payrolls or monthly salaries, normally anyone is done no job. The job is sending to the everybody. If the person wants to send, definitely there is a human mistakes. He cannot send every thousands of lakhs of accounts to the person, right? The job will do that type of work. External programs means it's a different programs here, different programs and different things here. So normally these external commands and external programs, rare cases they will use it here. Normally no one use. So only above programs they will use it here. Here we need to define the program, right? Program means where how to execute the program. Normally SA38 or SE38, we will execute the programs and everything. We will execute it here, right? So here normally the program we can select it. So program name, so any program normally in a real time we will get the requirement from the our functional team, our development teams. So they will provide the requirement what program we have to execute it here. Then click on the save button, click on the save button here. Then job step is defined here, right? Job step is defined here. So job step is defined. Now when you have to execute this program, what time frame you have to execute it, then startup conditions here. So job, so startup condition, job startup conditions here, job startup conditions here, right? Here immediate, if you want to run the job immediate, then you have to run it immediately. If you want to run the job in the day and time, so you can run in the day and time. So if you want to run this job in after the any job completion, that one after the event operation modes, anything you can run it here. So immediate, suppose I want to run the job immediately, but there are some periodic values, but daily you want to run it, or hourly you want to run it, or weekly you want to run it. So suppose daily, I want to run this job daily, but not on the restrictions. If I go to the restrictions value, not on the Saturday, Sundays here, not on the Saturday, Sundays here. Which calendar, which Saturday, Sundays here, right? So there is a German calendar. So we need to select it here. German standard calendar. We need to select this one, right? So means I want to run the job not on the Saturdays. So here, so German calendar I selected here, right? Click on the so periodic values, which means how frequently you want to run the job. Then restrictions means you want to put the restrictions. You don't want to run the job on the Saturday, Sundays. Then click on the so save button here, right? Save. Then when you save not a working day, 1/5 is a not a working day. Oh, it's a all day. So that's why system time is still on the 1/5 only. Yes, time zone only. So that is the reason. So it's not a working day. It's not taking care of that one. Why? Because we don't want to execute the job on the Sundays and public holidays. But as per the German calendar, so yesterday is the holiday. Yesterday is the German holiday here, right? So that's why so it's saying that so it's not that job, it won't trigger it here, right? Otherwise, just you can always execute the job. Click on the transfer, save it here. Then the job is frequency. Job frequency is the daily. It will execute it, but it will start from immediately. So when you click on the save button, what will happen? Job is the released status. What is the status of the job? So same as like we have the status of the work process, right? Same as like status of the job also, right? It's kind of scheduled, then released, then so ready, then active, so right, finished, then cancelled, and cancelled status here. So job status is here like scheduled status, released status, ready, active, finished, cancelled status here. Active, finished, cancelled status. These are the so job status here, right? Job status here, right? So job startup conditions here. Immediate. Suppose if you want to run the job immediate, date and time. If suppose you want to run the give the date and time. So after the job, then after the event, then all those things we can give it here. All those things we can give it here, right? So there are three types of job steps are there. So three parameters are mandatory for job. One is the job step, which program, which command, so which one you want to execute by job, right? So with what time you want to execute it, daily, weekly, monthly, every day, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, then you have to define. So status of the job, scheduled, released, ready, active, finished, cancelled button, right? So these are the things. So whenever you define the job is the released status. Then when you go to the SM37 transaction code, 37 transaction code, you see the job status here. Provide the job name. If you remember the job name, just you can provide the job name. If you don't remember the job name, just give the star. So why? Because we want to check the status of the job, right? Whether the job is executed or failed status, what happened. Then just click on the execute button here. Then it will show the data here, right? The job is executed or not. See here, the monthly salary got executed, which means monthly salary. So if you know what under the basis user, all the jobs are defined here, right? But we created as a monthly salary job. So this monthly salary job got executed. If you see the job log, so this has been executed. This program has been executed automatically. Did you execute it? No. So it executed automatically by the job here. It executed automatically by the job here, right? So this is the execution plan here, right? This is the execution plan. So this job is executed. So tomorrow also the same time it will execute it. Just adjust the timelines. Just adjust the timelines to the, well, because daily this will execute daily. You no need to define everything here, right? Just click on the execute button. See here, daily it is executing here. Tomorrow, then the second at the same time daily it will execute it here, right? Daily, the frequency is the daily. Then like this, so every daily you will get the this monthly salary job will execute it here, right? So that's very simple actually, right? Go to the SM36 is the transaction code for creation of the background jobs. SM36 is the transaction code for creation of the background jobs here, right? Here, the job one. So job name is kind of job one I created, right? Here, the main thing is the step. Which step you have to define? So which step? So like, so programs, normally this will be given by the our ABAPers, job owner, the developers, they will provide the things here, right? Job name, the program name they will provide to us. So job name also they will give it to the us. What is the job name which we have to define it here? What is the job name which we have to define it here? So select the any program here and select the any program, click on the save button here, right? Okay, select the program, click on the save button here. So we have also external program, external commands, right? That will not be used. Rare cases will. Most of the things only above programs will be used. So I want to run the job in the day and time. I don't want to run immediately. I want to run tomorrow. At what time I want to run it? That timelines I want to give it here. Right? So tomorrow at the same time I want to give it here. So that job will run tomorrow at the same time here. Right? Tomorrow 21:59 I want to run this job in the same time, only one time. I don't want to give the daily, monthly, weekly or any other period or all those things here. Only one time I want to execute this job, right? Just click on the create button. Immediately the job will be released status. The job will be released status here, right? Job will be released status. Okay, so now you released it, something you identified as a, oh, something we need to edit it. Then immediately go to the SM37. Only job creation is from SM36. SM36 is for only creating the background job, only creating the background job here. SM37 is for the entire administration part. Suppose if we want to edit, if we want to delete, if we want to cancel the active jobs, if you want to, if you want to change the status to the scheduled status. Scheduled means job is created. Released means the timelines are assigned. So I don't want to run the job, then make the job status to the scheduled status. Ready, job is ready to execute. Active, job is currently running status. Finished, job is finished status. Cancelled, job has been cancelled status. Job has been cancelled status. So this way we can check the job cancelled status and everything. We can check it out here, right? So that is what we need to check this one button here, right? So this type of things we can go ahead and check in the SM37. SM37, we can check it out here. What is the status of the job and everything here? Suppose I want to, suppose like see, there is a SAP Connect job is running in the system, which is every 5 minutes. So I don't want to run this should be in the every 5 minutes here. There is no use of this job. Select the job, go to the job name, click on the change button. So then we can edit it. I don't want to run every 5 minutes here. I want to run daily, hourly, or daily. I want to run it here, right? So I don't want to run every 5 minutes. So it will use the system resources and daily. Then click on the save button. That's it. So daily, same time it will execute it here. Same time it will execute it here. That is what it is doing now. All right. So at the same time it is executing. So this is what here it is. Suppose I want to delete the job. I want to delete the job. Select the job. So just you can execute the delete. If you want to repeat the scheduling, if you want to change it, if you want to cancel it, right? If you want to move the release it to scheduled, then we can do that one. We can do that one. That is also possible here. Suppose I want to I don't want to run the job. When the job is released, it will execute it. So I don't want to run this job, right? Then we can delete it. But instead of deleting, just you can move to the scheduled status. Scheduled status. Then when you move to the scheduled status, what will happen? So the job, it won't run. Job, it won't run it here. Job, it won't run it here. That is what we have to do it in the systems here, right? So that is what we have to do it in the system set that this job it won't run it, right? The job it won't run it here. Scheduled status, the job it won't run it here. Okay. So this is the way we can run the jobs here. So here, when the job is running, right? See here, there are a lot of jobs will run in the systems. When the job is running, who is helping here, right? Suppose here you can see, if we go to the job details here, here. So background work process will help to run the jobs. See here, the work process number 11. So what is the work process which is helpful to run this job? Work process number 11, right? So if we go to the SM50, so here the work process number 11. So which means this background work process is helpful to run the jobs here. This background work process is helpful to run the job here. So background work process means to run the job, we need a background work process, right? So what the job means, it will run the programs automatically as per the timelines, either external commands or external program job steps. It will run it here. So the frequently they may ask you how many types of job steps are there, like startup conditions, right? Can you tell me the job status here, right? So scheduled, released, ready, active, finished, cancelled. Where can we cancel the job? Active jobs, SM37. Where can we check the jobs, whether the job is running or not, SM37. Where to delete the job, SM37. Where can we change the schedule of the job, SM37. So how can we monitor the jobs, whether successful or not, SM37. So only one transaction code for the all the administration activities. Only creation of the job, it has to be done from the SM36. Then remaining activities we have to perform from the SM37 only. SM37 only, right? So that is the main thing of the jobs, right? Job creations and everything here. So to run the job, we need a one background work process is required, right? So in the same time, in the system, we have the standard background jobs in the system. They are the standard background jobs, which will do the some cleanup. So at system level, there are daily hundreds of jobs are running, hundreds of above them are generating. Then who will do the cleanup? So here they are the standard background jobs. So SAP standard jobs here. These are the SAP jobs here, reorg jobs. So jobs, so delete the history, delete the messages. They are the standard jobs here, which will come as part of the installation. It will starts with the SAP underscore will come SAP underscore here.
उधर भी मिलेगा क्या उधर खड़े रहो
right? So this will run it background to do the some cleanup activities in the system here. Just click on the standard background jobs, which will do the some standard actions in the system, which will do the some cleanups, here, right? So released means job will run as per the timelines here. See here, what is the job will do? So these jobs will do the some cleanup activities, right? Daily it will run. So this job will check the active jobs, job status, deletion, performance monitoring, reorg, deletion of the old jobs, old spools, all those things, some cleanup activities. So it will do the some cleanup activities here. It will do the some cleanup activities in the system. These are called the standard background jobs, which will come as part of the installation, right? So this will run in the system. So as soon as your system is done, this will be released. We have to release it. Here, right? In the except ECC, sorry, except S4 systems. So remaining systems we have to manually release it. In the S4 systems, it will be released automatically. You no need to do any the manual intervention. You don't need to do the any manual interventions. We don't need to do the any manual intervention here. So checks, collector, all the things here, we can do it here. Here, all the jobs are starting with SAP. It will run it here. It will collect the some system performance, right? So job creation, once again, job creation, we have to do it in the SM36. Job means, so whatever you mention in the job steps here, any program, any report that will be executed automatically by this job. Sir, what time it will execute? Based upon the timelines you give, based upon the timelines, like whatever the time you set here, right? In the job startup conditions. So whatever the timelines you set here, either you want to run immediately after the job, after the event, daytime, if you want to run anything, so you can schedule it here, you can run it here. So these are the things we have to execute it here. The periodic jobs restrictions, if you want to anything, we can execute it here. All right. So these are the things we have to so do it here. These are the things we have to so do it here. Okay. So that is the job status, startup time conditions here. So, sir, what time job execute? This is your wish. How you want to run the job? That is your wish. So you want to run daily, every day, every 5 minutes you want to run. So every second you want to run, every minute you want to run. So every hour, every day, monthly, 5 days, 3 days you want to run. That is your wish. How you want to run it. But so here, based on this, the job will execute it here. The periodic values, the job will execute it here. So who will run the job means background work process is responsible for to run the jobs, right? So background work process run the jobs here. So events. So here in SM37, so there are some system internal events are whenever you go for the startup condition, after the job means there is a one job is running, you want to run this job after that job completes. Then after events in the system, there are the some events here. As soon as system startup, you want to run this payrolls. As soon as your language import, as soon as you run some events here. As soon as system stopped, you want to run that one. As your system started, you want to run this one. Background, some events here. Event means some internal background processing events here. System will take care of that actions. So while taking that action, immediately you want to run your job, then that is also you can schedule it here. Operation modes means there is separate concept operation modes. So that time, so during the operation modes, you want to run that job, so we can execute that operation modes as well, right? We can select that operation modes as well here. So there is a one more thing, I think, yeah, these are the things for the job startup condition. These are the conditions, startup conditions here, right? So that the standard jobs also available, job startup conditions are available. So just to provide the job name, so then class and go to the job step name, what program, what report you want to execute. One time setup. If you do the one time setup, then automatically every day that will be executed. Automatically every day that will be executed here. That is the one-time setup. It will be executed. Okay. So that is the job here. Okay. So this is what we have to execute it in the daily basis. So they may ask you the three things here important here: job steps, startup conditions. How many types of job startup conditions are there? What is the job status here, right? Scheduled status here. So when the job will go cancelled status, there any issue, job will go cancelled status. So successfully completed, active, job is active, ready, job is ready, released, scheduled. So like this, job will go to the status here. Startup, this is a very important. So but it's very important first concept. This is a very important concept in the real time. This is very much useful. And also interview point of time also, this concept they may ask you, these three conditions they may ask you definitely, right? So jobs are running from long time, where to check, how to create the jobs, right? How many types of job steps are there? What is the job status here? So when the job goes to released status. So when you are creating the job is in the scheduled status here. When you are assigning the timelines, then that is the released status here, right? Then ready to execute. Active means job is running status. What is mean by active status? What is mean by finished status? What is mean by cancelled status, right? So where to cancel it, schedule it in SM37. Where to create it, SM36, we can create it. So all those things we have to explain, right? That is the job status, is the job information. Okay, that is the information of the jobs here. Okay, that is the thing. So these things you have to execute it here, SM36, SM37 here, right? So you can practice it. Why? Because it's quite important. So if you want, I can explain the one more topic like message server. But first of all, you need, this is the very important topic to the practice. So will you guys practice, right? This background jobs. So nothing, once again, let me show you. Go to the SM36 is the transaction code to create the job, right? Sir, why we have to create the jobs means, so instead of manually executing by the humans or we, so if you just one time, if you set up the things here, automatically the job will take care of all those things here. Automatically, the job will take care of the remaining execution. So I have defined the program name and everything. So go to the startup conditions here. I want to run the immediately, but monthly. So today if you execute it and the next month the same time, so in June same time it should execute it monthly job, right? So then click on the save button. See here, job is released status. Then if we go to the SM37, so then here we can see the test status. Click on the execute button. You see whether job is completed or not. Yes, job is completed. When it was started, what is the duration? What is the status? Job finished status, right? So like this here we can execute it. That's what you need to know, the what is the job status. So job startup conditions, all the information we required. Okay, so this is the thing we we would like to know. So you need to practice it here. Okay, so that is the thing here. So what you have to do now? So please practice. So this job creations, then the previous transaction codes SM50, SM51, so then SM66 and all those things here. Okay. So and also still we have some time. Then also there is a few more two more transaction codes. I will explain it. ST22 above the runtime errors, right? Then SM21 above system logs. That is the runtime errors. So above runtime errors. So runtime errors means ST22. In your system, if any program error, is there any syntax error or anything, we may face the runtime errors. Previously, yesterday we have seen there are the lot of runtime errors in the system. So there is a program error, there is a database issue, deadlocks issue, anything, it will throw the symptoms in the ST22 transaction code here, ST22 transaction code here. So to analyze this one, if you open the dump, This is the SQL error. This is the database SQL error while accessing the program. There is a deadlock or resource bottleneck or occurred here. So what happened here? What is the system here, right? You can see the system details. Who is the user caused this one? Basis user in 001 client, right? What is the program? This is the program. What happened exactly? You will see the all the details here. Database error has been occurred. So what you can do, right? So here you can check the error log and same thing, right? So here error analysis, if you go to the error analysis and you will see the some details here, right? How to correct the error here, right? It's a internal error. So then, so all those things here, right? Information on where termination occurred, information on where termination occurred in the systems, right? So this is what where the termination is occurred here. So we can see it here, right? So above calls in the kernel program. So this is what we can see it here. So all the information is located here. So by seeing this one, so we can see what happened in the system, which user we have a lot of dumps. So then we need to so take the action. So here is the program error. So it's related to the us, then we can take the action, either restarts or so memory, some whatever we want, we can clear the locks and everything, we can do that one, right? So if it is the program error, syntax errors, timeout errors means definitely the user, who is the user? The user is responsible. We have to inform to the respective user or team we have to inform, right? That is the user's responsibility here. So that type of runtime errors we can see it here. Sir, where can we see whether system is running fine or not without any issues means here we can see it here. ST22 is the above runtime errors. If we go to the SM21 system log, so it will clearly display the so what's happening in your systems from yesterday to today or whole day what happened in your system. Are there any issues, are there any errors? All the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here. So this is the one you can see here. So this is the one we can see it here. Who is doing what is doing, so who is doing what, all the information we can see it here. So all the information we can see it here. Who is doing what, some other person here, some registered, some registration, something like port not starting, operating system call errors, some port is not starting. Then some kind of errors are there here, right? Who is the user, so what is doing, and all the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it here. Error log, system logs here. So it will give the clear information here. So that is the above runtime errors, any program errors, syntax errors, and any space, memory, anything, it will be defined here. So then system log means all the information will be displayed here. How the system is behaving, all the information will be displayed in the system logs here. It will log the all the system related things and everything. This is only dumps above runtime errors. Some program is running now. If it got failed, then it will give the runtime error, runtime dump. So that will be available in the ST22 and SM21 here. So these are the things here, right? So if we summarize it, we discussed about the SM50, SM66, SM61, then SCA38 or SE38 for foreground report executions, and SE11 to SE16 are the transaction code for to view the table data, then SM12, then SM13, then SM14, right? Then SM36 for today, then SM37. So these are the transaction codes I think we discussed, right? So please practice each and every transaction code. So and see what this screen we are getting. So what is the main intention of the screen? What we have to do if any issues identified. So suppose if you identify the old lock entries, we need to delete it. If the field update records found, then we need to so reprocess or we need to inform, right? We need to, if your update is deactivated, we have to activate it. So if anyone asks you to schedule the background job, you can use the SM36. So you want to check whether the job is successfully completed or running, then you can do the SM37. So all the things we can check it out in the in this transaction course here, right? So once this is done, then tomorrow we'll discuss about the how to add the additional application servers. Additional application servers. Why? Because the in the DVEB completed in the message server is required. The message server means load balancing. It's required the additional application server. So we are going to add the additional application servers here. Okay. So those things we are going to discuss here, right? So that is the very important concept. So I see